In this video, we'll go over how to do the technology assignment in written assignment number 1. So to access the assignment, go ahead and go to modules, scroll down to your written assignment. This is written assignment number 2. So chapter 2 and 3 resources, or we can go directly to the assignment. So download your directions. In part 1, we're going to do the technology lab. So download the technology lab itself. There's an Excel file, so you don't have to type all of the values in, and there's a sample of what the completed Statcrunch lab is going to look like. So what you're going to do in the tech lab is you're going to take a set of data and you're going to enter it into Statcrunch. You're going to create a frequency table and histogram. So read the directions in the lab activity to figure out number of classes and how the thought process for determining what value you should start at and then what the class width should be. Then we're going to make a frequency table. You have step-by-step instructions on the lab. In activity 2, we're going to see how to use Statcrunch to find summary statistics. And then activity 3, how to use Statcrunch for a box plot and a 5-number summary. But the outliers are something that are shown on the box plot, but you also have to calculate using ideas from the textbook. So to open the data, the Excel file gives you the data that we're going to use today. So it's just in a single column. You're going to use the same process when you analyze your set of data in part 3. Then go to My Lab and Mastering. Open. And on the left-hand menu, you're going to select Statcrunch. Statcrunch website. Then the big yellow button, Open Statcrunch, and a spreadsheet will open up. So this is why we needed the Excel file. The Excel file contains the data, the pulse rate data for your tech lab. So you're going to click and drag from the first to the last data value, no extra boxes. Lift up your finger, then you're going to hit Control-C for copy. Then you're going to click over in the spreadsheet on Statcrunch and hit Control-V, and that will paste your data. So you'll want a blank Word document open so that you can copy and paste your items in the Word document. So I'm just making my layout narrow so I can fit everything. There we go. So this is going to be written assignment number 1, part 1, Tech Lab. Okay, so now I'm ready. Part 1 is histogram and frequency table. All right, so now that we have our data set, to make a histogram, go to Graph, select Histogram. You have to select the column that your data is in. We haven't named it, so it's just variable 1. And then we have to start our bins. If you read through the directions on the Tech Lab, we start our classes at 50. Statcrunch calls them bins, and our class width or our bin width is 10. Okay. Then we want to make sure that you click on value above bar, and this is what's going to help you count up the number of data values in each class really fast. Click on compute, and there's our histogram. So to copy, click on options, hit copy, and then some directions will come up. It says right click on the image below to copy it, so I right clicked. I'm going to copy image. Then it says a tip. After we right click and select copy, you have to paste it in Word by hitting Control-Alt-V and paste as device independent bitmap. Sounds like trouble, but once you do it once, you'll know how to do it. So I'm going to Word, I'm going to open it up. I'm going to hold down Control-Alt-Delete. Oops, that's the wrong thing. Control-Alt-V to paste. Sorry about that. Habit. click on Device Independent Bitmap, click OK, and then your graph will come up. Once it's in there, you can highlight it and click and drag to make it smaller. And you can also click, if you're using Word, wrapping tight. This means you can move your graph around and you can type around it. Okay. So I also want to insert the frequency table. I just use the table function in Word to do that. So I'm going to insert a table. Now I still got the graph highlighted. I have to get out of there. So I'm going to insert a table. And the table comes up down below, or I put it above. I can shrink it down, change the size, layout. If you want the widths to be smaller, you can make it smaller. Okay, same here. So play around with it a little bit until you get comfortable using it, and you can click and you can move this over as well. So what you'll want to do is you'll want to type in the classes. So you're going to have, I'll just do one of these so you can see. So we're looking at pulse rates and the frequency. So this first class is 50 to 59. And then the frequency tells you above the bar is 1. So this is how you fill in your frequency table. 60 to 69, the frequency is 8. Okay, then you'll go ahead and finish typing that in. All right, so that's how you do the histogram. And I'm going to click on, I also put a sample of what the completed tech lab should look like. This is what the completed tech lab should look like for your histogram. You'll have your histogram and your table with the values in it. All right, next part is we're going to go ahead and do summary statistics. So that's under stat. So summary statistics on the columns. Select the column. And now we want all of the summary statistics Statcrunch does is contained in this box. So we want multiple. If you click on one, only one shows up. I'm going to start with the mean. Hold down the control key as you select so that you get multiple items in the box to the right. So I want the mean, the standard deviation, the median, the range if you want it, the minimum. I'll put the 5-number summary as the minimum, the first quartile, the median I already have, the third quartile, the maximum. What else do we need? It would be nice to have the IQR, interquartile range, and then mode is last. So just remember, hold down the control key, click on compute, and you can put them in any order that you want. So there's the one, there are the items I selected. Now to copy paste that one, you have to click and highlight, click and drag to highlight, hit Control C for copy, go over to the Word document. There's the one I started on. Hit Control V to copy your summary statistics on the paper. All right, last thing we're going to do, let me get out of there, is a box plot. We're going to graph a box plot. Again, you select the variable. You can make sure you have use fences to identify outliers. That box is default checked. And you can draw the boxes horizontally or vertically, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to hit horizontal. Compute, and there's the box plot. And notice these dots are where the outliers are. So if you put the cursor over these, it'll tell you what the actual values are. So that's 56. This is the fence when they calculated outliers, the lower fence. Then you have the first quartile, the median, the third quartile, the upper fence, and then 3 outliers beyond that. So copy and paste it. Same as before, you have to right click on the image, copy, go to your Word document, and do Control-Alt-V, device independent bitmap. And again, you can resize, and you can also, if you click here and do with text wrapping, you can also move it around. Okay? So what you'll end up with on the tech lab, let me open up the sample again. You're trying to replicate what's on this paper. You'll have your frequency table and your histogram. You'll have your summary statistics. You'll have your box plot. The 5-number summary is one of the items you computed in your numeric summary above. And then this is from the textbook, checking for the outliers using computation. So 57 and 97 are the lower and upper fences according to the formula in our book.